You look at all the cases that day. They're in courtroom 1, 2, 3, and 4, but they have courtroom 7, which is never used. Okay, and it's only Amar's case in that courtroom.
And then when you walk in, the deputy peacemaker, the same deputy that watched our old attorney, Casey Stevens, that stole our money, assault my mother on video, and let him go because she has a relationship with that attorney. The same deputy follows me. She's like, "Excuse me, it's this way," and then I'm like, "Okay." I go into that room. I see a giant machine, a giant apparatus placed at the door, scanning you from head to toe. By the way, only that room. It's a machine that gets rolled on wheels just for me. Just before we entered the trial, I'm like, where are they walking me into? What the fuck are they gonna do to me? You have a giant machine, a private room, a judge that's retarded. What's
Wait, I
going
have
on
him
here?
on the record.
Everybody on social media is listening to Sheriff Glenn Hill lie on the stand.
We've established the.
Did they keep?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Char, go ahead. I think we're having a problem with the internet. There we go. Now we can hear you, Char. Now we can hear you. We couldn't hear you earlier.
That looked like a GoPro.
Char, say that one more time.
Did they keep? You know, when they put it through the scanner, do they keep record of the scans after they go through?
That's a very good question.
That's a good question.
If Mo could get a hold of it and show it did not even look like a GoPro.
I'll
through twice.
I'll be honest. Whether it's a GoPro, whether it's a Rexing dash cam, whether it's whatever they want to say it is, at the end of the day, the sheriffs inspected this item on 4 different occasions, and they allowed it in. They allowed this item into the courtroom.
Right.
Okay, so Glenn Hill once told me. He says, your brother is very disrespectful. And then I think Deputy Terry also.
He's talking about me?
He's talking about you. He said you're very disrespectful.
I'm very disrespectful.
You called him a name. Okay, I'm not gonna say because my daughter's here. Okay, but
not till he's.
Last time I checked, I'm talking about what on his watch, what's happening behind closed doors.
Look, he says if you
So is that why he arrested me? Because he felt a certain type of? Is that what he's talking about?
Maybe, but look, he says if you talk to the sheriff, you can resolve these issues if you just talk to the sheriff. So when I was trespassed, when I was given this notice of trespass, Blake Weiner was there that day, and he went to the sheriff. He went to Sheriff Glenn Hill, and he explained to him that I told him to bring in this item. I physically inspected this item in the courtroom. It's a dash cam. It's not able to record because it doesn't have power. Okay, and let's clear this up right now. And Sheriff Glenn Hill says, no, I'm not going to let him in. I'm not going to let him. I don't care what you say. I'm not going to let him in.
So I don't get it. Is it about respect? Is it about not just trespassing you because he felt like it?
Look,
I mean, he tells you I'm disrespectful, but 7 jurors fell in love with me when I was on the stand.
Look, so
what's going on, Sheriff?
So I went to Sheriff Glenn Hill himself. I went to his office. I sat down with him. His other deputies were there. I brought in the box with the dash cam in it. I showed it to him. I showed him the manual. I showed him that this dash cam can only work when you plug it into a 12-volt cigarette lighter outlet from a car. And he says, let me think about it. Let me think about your trespass order that I issued. I'll think about it. I said, well, in the meantime, while you're thinking about it, I want to be present in Mustafa's hearings. Okay? And he says, okay, when Mustafa has a hearing, just let me know and I'll let you in. That's what he tells me. He says, let me think about it, but I'll let you in for the hearings. Okay? So a couple of weeks go by, Mustafa has a hearing. I show up, and he says, no, I'm not going to let you in today. I'm not going to let you in. I said, well, if you don't let me in, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for violating my First Amendment.
Well, before
you know what he told me? He
Yeah.
said, if you sue me, then we're not talking anymore. Okay? He says, I'm going to let you in next time.
Okay.
I waited another few weeks. I didn't file my lawsuit or my injunction, and I waited. I trusted him because you're talking to the sheriff. When he gives you a word, you're expecting him to follow through with his word. Okay, so I show up on Mustafa's next hearing, and he tells me, nope, I'm not going to let you in. And I'm thinking, why not? what are you so afraid of me going into the courtroom? He says, you can go into the courthouse and file your motion if you want. So
You're specifically talking about the two deputies that came out. I was there with you. Two deputies come out, and they said Sheriff Glenhill's not here, even though his vehicle is parked right in front of the building.
You know what's funny is this interaction where I go in to talk to Sheriff Glenhill, and I ask him if I'm allowed to go in. You told me I can be here. You keep telling me next time you can be here. Next time comes around, and you tell me on the spot you're not going in.
What do you mean? He didn't even want to come out. He sent two deputies that said, "Oh, Sheriff Glenhill is not here." His vehicle is right outside the building, and then he sends you two deputies. One is a female that looks like a guy, and then another guy that looks like a female. I swear to God, you can't make this up, even if you want to. And they tell you, Sheriff Glenhill's not here. Oh,
exactly.
He didn't
you can
say.
See his car outside. You can see his car parked.
That
Anyways,
is disturbing.
So on five different occasions, they tell me I'm not allowed to be in the courtroom, for whatever reason. Like my mom is saying, she's reminding me that the prosecutor, on multiple occasions, tried to get the judge to have us removed from the courtroom. I mean, she said at some point in her statement of lies that she filed on the record, she said that I had purchased a weapon. An AR specifically.
That you purchased an AR, and I'm out here manufacturing BOMBs. So you're telling me that you left me in a parking lot for full? Where I was there. I was here for almost 5 months, 5-6 months before I got arrested by Sheriff Glenhill. You left this guy that's manufacturing BOMBs in your parking lot. What's going on here? That's on the record.
I mean, this is the label they're trying to place on us.
Trespassed you because you are the power of attorney?
Exactly. I mean, I'm power of attorney for Mustafa, and I told the sheriff, I said, I help Mustafa with legal decisions, okay? I mean, I'm following his case. I'm posting stuff to the internet, okay? I'm updating the community on what's going on specifically with Mustafa's case, and the sheriff doesn't like it. I'm a very good note taker, okay? And the sheriff does not like that. Every time I walk in,
you're a really good note taker.
Every time I walk in, they're staring so hard at this notebook. I mean, I'm not writing anything down. I'm just writing what's happening in the courtroom. But they don't like that.
Well, the first time they switched judges.
Yeah, the first time, they switched judges.
Band out of there. They switched judges on you.
So,
would you have been able to stop that as the power of attorney?
I don't think so. I mean, these people do whatever they want, and they think that nobody's listening. Nobody's. I mean, every time I've had a hearing, even Amar's case,
you couldn't be there. They wouldn't let you in. You're trespassing.
Not only that, but they've always had it in a private courtroom.
Why is it? Why is it? My motion to dismiss, which is a crucial portion in my whole entire trial, before I get the jury trial, they gave me a retired judge, and they put me in a private room. That, by the way, the equipment doesn't work. The TV, there's equipment. My lawyer could not play the videos and the evidence
on the TV.
On the TV, he couldn't. And you want to tell? I mean, I think I read an article where they're asking Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, there's so much money that's allocated to you. Why is your equipment in these courtroom not work? And because of it, you're gonna get up. The jury doesn't hear it. I mean, you can't play the equipment. This is a crucial part in the whole entire trial.
I mean, it's obvious. They put you in a courtroom that is, I don't think it's ever used. It's courtroom number 7.
Why are they so terrified that other people are going to see it? Isn't this supposed to be a public hearing?
You look at all the cases that day, they're in courtroom 1, 2, 3, and 4. But they have courtroom 7, which is never used. Okay, and it's only Amar's case in that courtroom.
And then when you walk in, the deputy peacemaker, the same deputy that watched our old attorney, Casey Stevens, that stole our money, assault my mother on video, and let him go because she has a relationship with that attorney. The same deputy follows me. She's like, "Excuse me, it's this way." And then I'm like, "Okay." I go into that room. I see a giant machine, a giant apparatus placed at the door, scanning you from head to toe. By the way, only that room. It's a machine that gets rolled on wheels. Just for me. Just before we entered the trial, I'm like, where are they walking me into? What the fuck are they going to do to me? You have a giant machine, a private room, a judge that's retarded. What's going on here? Retired. Might as well call her retarded. Judge Jeanette Irby. And she blocked a huge component. By the way, this is so disturbing. It's on the record. This judge, and she doesn't care whether you file against her because she's retired. They literally brought in a 70-year-old lady from retirement just to block my a crucial component before I go in front of the jury. How is that fair? How is that fair?
It's not.
The jury doesn't get to hear the whole entire case?
Is Mo and Mama, Mo, are you representing you and Mama by yourself?
Yeah, so we're representing ourselves. I'm representing myself, and my mother is representing herself. And you know that's
Do you have all the information? I would go for a jury trial on yours too, because you got everything. You know, when they said all this stuff.
you know
You know,
I would like that, but I think the way I filed it, I filed for a injunction, and an injunction has to come from a judge. So you know, hopefully we get a fair judge who's going to listen to the facts. I mean, the facts are indisputable. You know, I have an incident report from the sheriff's office stating that they took this item, they allowed it into the courtroom, and then later had some issues with it, and then they want to say that it was unauthorized. I have a letter from Blake Weiner telling me to bring in this item the night before,
right.
and I asked for a subpoena. Oh, you got a thing on your. You know, I asked for a subpoena that where I'm requesting the footage from the courtroom, which they have, by the way. They have cameras in the courtroom, and I requested a subpoena to show this judge, this upcoming judge, that the deputies took this item, placed it on the belt, and then physically handed this item over to me after inspecting it. So, but the jail lawyer, Sharon Pandek, who's also Sheriff Glenn Hill's lawyer, she put a motion on the record to dismiss it. She's saying that I should not be allowed to file a subpoena, and her reasoning is, can you hit okay on that?
I think you might want to exit and come back.
Okay, just hit okay,
Yeah.
and then
Exit and come back. Exit and go live again.
Yeah, remove that thing. Yeah, and then go back in. So you know what I'm saying is, we as people, when we file a case, we should be allowed to file subpoenas. And for Glenn Hill's lawyer to claim that we should not be entitled to file subpoenas because she's claiming that we're going to post it to the internet. Well, this is a public hearing, okay? There's no expectation of privacy when you're in public, okay? And I'm not asking to have this video to post. I have no reason to post a courtroom video on the internet. I needed the video simply to show that the deputies themselves took this item, physically inspected it, and then gave it to me inside the courtroom. That's what I'm trying to show.
Your FOIA requesting your what?
I'm not FOIA. I'm submitting a subpoena, and she's trying to block a subpoena of the courtroom footage.
You got a letter blocking the subpoena?
She filed a
Who, Pandek?
Pandek.
Speaking of Pandek, Pandek was fired immediately after Sheriff Glenn Hill lost. When I took him to court, my First Amendment after trial, after he lost, after the jury trial, when I won against him, immediately after court, he fired Pandek.
But see, this is the things that they do. They try to block you from getting subpoenas. They want to violate your due process. They think that Sheriff Glenn Hill has ultimate power, that he's unquestionable. I mean, we have rights. In this country, we have rights. And I think Amar's jury trial is a testament to Sheriff Glenn Hill, to Amy Ashworth, that we, the people, do have rights in this county. And we're not going to back down. And when we don't back down, we put our foot down, when we know we're right, we know we have rights, you just have to be persistent, okay? You have to put your foot down. And when they threaten you, you should continue to fight.